Hi, hello, welcome to Usha Talks. Life is beautiful. Today we have a very special guest, Beauty with Brains. She is Director of Supply Chain working in Microsoft. She is Nishi, my best friend from so many years. I'm also curious to learn from so many things from Nishi's life journey. So, please subscribe to our channel. So, what we are waiting for? Let's talk to Nishi. Hi Nishi.
Hi Usha, thank you for having me here today. Hello everybody.
Thank you so much. It's our honor you to come to our show today. It's
Thank you.
like very pleasure to talking to you. And please give your deep introduction to my audience. Everyone is waiting. So there are so many questions for me to ask you. So please, can you please give your deep introduction?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Nishi Kapoor. I live in Seattle, Washington. I am originally from Delhi. I was born and raised in Delhi and moved to the US to pursue my MBA. I'm so excited here, and I should tell your audience, Usha, we have known each other for so many years. We are good friends, but never got an opportunity to sit like one on one and have a discussion. So I'm so looking forward to our conversation today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nishi. So Nishi, tell me, where are you from? Like you said you're from Delhi, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, we will start about your childhood, then we will go to your professional journey also.
Sure.
And there are so many people don't know supply chain, what is supply chain and what you're working here.
Yeah.
There are so many questions related to that, your professional journey also.
Yeah.
But before that, we want to know about you. Tell me about where are you from, how's your childhood, tell me about your mom and dad.
Yes, absolutely. So, Usha, almost 40 years ago, I was born.
Don't tell me.
I was born in Delhi to middle class parents and Punjabi parents. So, if you know a lot about India, it's a mix of cultures, and we have people living in the north who come from different cultural background, and then we have people in the south. Beautiful, beautiful. If you're watching us not from India, then you should definitely go and travel India. So Delhi is the capital of India. I was
Yes.
born in Delhi. My parents, middle class parents and background. My mom was a teacher,
Wow.
a principal at that point of time. She taught English, math, Sanskrit, and Hindi
Wow.
to elementary school students. And then my dad was a sales professional, so sales director for the paints that you use to paint your new houses. When I was born, I already had an elder brother who's like 9 years older to me. He lives in New Jersey.
Nice.
He's doing very well for himself. And then my mom was like, "No, I need a girl too." And
Wow.
it's so good to know that your parents really asked for you in a world where we talk about women empowerment, but having a strong woman at home and your mother
Yes.
wanting a girl child was very empowering.
Right.
So yeah, from a middle class Punjabi background, but then our parents always made sure to do whatever they had to for the welfare of their kids, and putting us in the best school if they even have to do extra. For example, my mom, as I said, was a teacher, but then she would take some coaching classes and give some coaching classes in the evening to make sure to make some extra money, so that her kids can go to very good English medium schools.
If you touch any parent's journey in India,
Yeah.
like especially in middle class, I'm from middle class background too, their first goal is kids education.
Absolutely.
To give the best education
Absolutely.
for them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, please
And I think
continue.
that's where we are getting the zeal or the zest to everything we want to do. Even coming to the US, it was always a thought that we want to do good for ourselves, but then eventually when we get married, have kids, it's like what can you do for your kids? What best kind of whether it's extracurricular activities, for example. Sharing more about my personal life, my husband is here with me, who's also Punjabi from India, from Dehradun. If some of your viewers are
Hi,
from
Gaurav.
Uttarakhand, yes, his name is Gaurav Kapoor, and we have a son, beautiful son, he's turning 10 next week, Nivan.
Nivan,
Yes,
that's my middle daughter's best friend.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, they play together so well.
They grew up together.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They used to be like this
This
little,
much
and
little
now
boy.
you see them talking about all the video games and Roblox and
Right.
so yeah, everything. I am a strong, independent woman, but at the end of the day, I count my blessings with how much I have provided to my son, and me and my husband. I'm blessed to have someone who's a husband who we may differ on some opinions, but then at the end of the day we are a good team, so he takes care. For example, this morning I made breakfast, but then he's the one who's cleaning the kitchen.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gaurav is also cooking
Yeah, he
for
cooks.
you.
He cooks, but I'm not sure if I like that much.
Don't tell me.
But
We'll ask to start the classes.
he loves to clean, so we decided,
That's
okay,
a
I
good
can
part.
cook.
Yes, that's a good part. So, yes, Nishi, that's a beautiful childhood from you. And how do you come to US? Like,
Yeah.
what did you finish your studies in India? You finished MBA, right? I
Yes.
see your LinkedIn profile. There are so many to understand your professional journey. So, after MBA, what did you do in India first? Then, how did you come to US?
Yeah, so when I did my undergrad in Delhi University, they have like great schools there. But I always thought that doing undergrad in India is good. School education in India is very good, undergrad is very good. But when it comes to masters, I always encourage, our viewers and our family and friends and the people who are mentor and coach through LinkedIn also to always have that exposure, come to a country like United States or go to Australia. But
Yes.
I chose United States because it's so cosmopolitan. People from so many different countries are
There are
coming here.
so many things to learn also.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
move to your place to another place, especially,
Absolutely.
yes.
And the master's here is not just bookish knowledge. Sometimes I believe in India we can do a better job. We are doing the exams and everything is very ritualized.
Right.
So they do not go from left to right. In US I've seen that while there's like bookish information and exams related to what you have learned in the class, but they teach you, how to talk in public, how to do debates, how to do presentations.
Right.
Especially in my MBA, when I came to Pennsylvania to do MBA for 2 years, I gained a lot of confidence. I was, and Usha, I think we were talking about this before the podcast that, I may come across as a confident and, extrovert person, but at the core, I am introvert and I like to have my me time. And coming to the US for MBA for 2 years just completely gave me that boost and confidence to my personality, which, I carry on throughout till now too.
Nice, actually. I don't believe Nishi is like an introvert. She's
I'm a good
always
actor too.
she's a very good friend of mine. I have so many friends, but very good friends is like I can count with my numbers like that. She is very cool and composed, very self motivated person. I see her going walks alone. That's what like me time. So we will talk about more that conversation also. So Nishi, so after marriage, there are so many challenges for like women especially.
Yeah.
How do you manage the profession and personal journey, the marriage life? How do you manage here after you finished your MBA, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and Usha, I as I said, about my confident personality, how I'm a good actor, but I'm a very desi person at heart. So, I actually wanted to go
That's
back and
yes,
settle down in India because, Delhi is such a forward city and state, and there's so many opportunities in Delhi. So I was like, I'll finish my MBA in Pennsylvania and I'll go back and settle down. But then as soon as I went back, because I was working with GE, General Electric, as a supply chain professional. I started with GE when I was doing my MBA. So I started as an intern.
wow,
And then when I graduated, they said, we will offer you a role in your hometown, Delhi. And I was like, wow, that's exactly what I wanted. So I moved back to Delhi. And there, while I was working, through a common friend, I met Gaurav. And Gaurav, after finishing his master's, we didn't know each other before. After he finished his master's, he was working here with Caterpillar in Illinois. So when we met each other, we decided to, get married. After that, I told my company, gee, that I'm getting married, I'm moving to US. Fortunately, I did not have to come or apply for a spouse visa. My company didn't want to lose a talent like me, and they said, we will do your, green card.
Got it.
So as soon as I get married, and unfortunately for some of our friends, I know that they get married but do not get the right visa to come to the US.
Right.
I was fortunate to have my company sponsor that. Within 2 weeks of us getting married, I was in the US.
That's beautiful
Yeah.
to know. Yeah, there are so many women, especially after marriage, there are so many visa issues also for them to
Yes.
work here.
Yes.
There are so many problems, but we good to like blessed.
Yes.
You are a blessed child for sure,
Yes, yes.
no doubt about it. And you have that directly you can come to the work and you can do it and you improved your journey and you helped so many people also.
Yes, and my husband, we often talk about it that there are so many of us still working on the immigration. They are either on H1 visa,
Right.
they have to get it renewed so many times. They cannot move around and change the jobs also or the roles that they're working in. So that worked out well in our favor. And as soon as I came here, Gaurav and I, we started living together. But we were kind of doing long distance husband-wife relationship also because I had to move to a different city for work. But eventually, when we decided to start a family, I moved back to Illinois so I can work remotely and start a family. And I know, Usha, you asked about how difficult it is for us career women to manage it.
So before
Yeah.
that, I want to
Yeah.
ask you a funny question. In childhood, right, college time and all, is there anything no one knows about you? You said you were a desi heart in your, you want to go back and settle down. Here, the life is completely different. We can chill out, we can have friends, we can have family members a lot. We have so many events around.
Yeah.
So, do you have any memories to share with us from your childhood, naughty things? What do
Oh,
you, what do you
wow.
feel?
Yes. Naughty, I don't know. But yeah, I am definitely, we are so many cousins. My mom has a big family. She has like about 6 siblings. My dad had 5 siblings. So whenever there would be a wedding or
Wow.
a get together, we would be like a room full of cousins. And all of them right now, Usha, are settled outside of India.
Uh-huh.
So some of them are in Australia, New Zealand,
Wow.
Muscat, Canada, US. Me and my brother are in US.
Uh-huh.
So we just have to book our air tickets and our travel and living is taken care of. But childhood, I was very naughty. I always was, influenced by the Bollywood movies
Oh,
and songs and dance.
I know you are passionate about movies. She's asking for like different language movies also. Is the subtitles available to watch?
Yes.
But after, luckily, we have so many movies now with the subtitles, and
subtitles,
adding
yeah.
the different movies also, the languages also, right?
Yes, and even without the subtitles, Usha, I'll tell you, when I was living with my roommates, when I was doing my MBA, I had 2 roommates, Padma and Sainai. They were from Hyderabad, and oh my God, I watched a movie with them called Telugu movie Anuko Kundo Okkoroja, like just suddenly one day or something, where a Sunday is just missed. Looks like maybe you're not able to recall, but I'm sure your audience.
Do you know the hero?
Oh, so Ajay Devgan actually remade that movie in Hindi too. So please put in comments if you have watched that movie.
Roja?
Anuko Kundo Ikka Roja.
Anukokunda Okaroju?
Yeah, yes, that movie.
Anukokunda Okaroju.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
like just suddenly one day, I think that's what the translation is.
Okay.
So I love movies. I love creativity. I love poetry. So I have an Instagram page where I just put some dance reels, some poetry. I participated in my college days. I participated in fashion shows and won like first prize. So yeah, with the boring professional life that we have to keep ourselves alive with entertained with our
Yes,
hobbies.
yes. Obviously, that's a biggest blessing for us to more entertainment. We
Yes.
have to, just chill out, relax in our homes,
Yes.
wherever we go, right?
Yeah.
It's good. So, after your professional, like you finished your education and here you moved with your job and all. So, tell me, what is supply chain? We want to know about your professional journey. Now, we have so many questions related to that.
Sure.
People are coming from the BTech and MS backgrounds, computer science and things like that. I'm from a journalist background. I finished my post graduation in journalism India.
Oh, wow.
So I working in healthcare now here. So different professions, like you as a supply chain director now, what is your journey? When did you start? What is supply chain? First, can you tell me about it to understand for our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as the phrase is supply chain. So, one is supply, that you are getting something from one place to another, and chain, so that the things can continue. So the raw materials that you procure from one place, eventually it becomes, you just keep on adding productively, and then it becomes the final product. For example, this chair that we are sitting on, it needs the legs, it
Right.
needs the cover, it needs the shape and the design. So supply chain is pretty much getting the design, raw material, everything put together so that there can be an end product. And I always say this, Usha, in every industry, the winner company is not going to be with the best product, but the company with the best supply chain.
Got
Because
it.
if you're not getting to your customers on time and early before time, then it's of no use if you have like the world's most beautiful designs. Sometimes we are ordering things on Amazon. If it doesn't come in 2 days, we are
Right.
like, we'll pay extra and go to someone who can make it faster.
Okay. So what we can, what jobs we can start if some people who want to come to your job profession, like if they're interested to doing in a supply chain profession. I know like inventory management, operations manager, like especially in healthcare or retail. But what exactly supply chain, what if people wants to learn their career, they want to pursue their career, so what they have to do?
Yeah, and I would start by saying it happened to me by accident. I never knew about supply chain myself, but now there's so much awareness. I'm actually speaking at conferences also to bring in more women to the industry of supply chain, so that, because when I was starting, I did not have many good mentor and coaches to tell me about supply chain.
Got it.
So I'll share with your audience. I wanted to go in HR when I was doing my MBA, but I started as an intern at GE. And the only roles that they had available were in logistics or supply chain, or to manage the logistics when some products are complete. How do we get it on time, on truck, to ship to the customers? But that is like the last part of supply chain, when the product is ready and then you are shipping it up. Before that, you have to make the product. So if you have to make a product in factory, you need all the raw material to be coming here. For example, during pandemic, even
Yeah, that's the
as
biggest. There are
yeah,
so many supplies stopped and companies
Yeah.
not working.
So scary,
There are
so
so many
scary.
scary situations,
Yeah.
struggles faced, the world completely.
Yeah.
How the impact to that supply chain? How did you guys to fix those issues in that time?
Yeah, it's so important. And I think anybody in supply chain who worked during the 2-3 years of pandemic probably got like a 10 years of experience, because it was such a challenging time period. Even like getting the oxygen tanks from one place to another, getting the masks, getting the vaccine, even
Yes.
produced and delivered to the right hospitals was so important. And some of us living in the US know that toilet rolls became so
Right,
important
yes.
because they were the shelves were clean and there were no toilet papers. Yeah, I don't know why people were hoarding on on toilet papers.
Everyone is stocked the complete rooms in that time. They're buying
Yes,
if the
water
something is coming,
bottles
water
too.
bottles, water cans, paper towels, toilet papers, everything, rice,
Oh my God, yes,
especially
food. Yeah,
food, especially. It's not, oh my God, it's a scary situation in that time.
yeah, yeah.
So
For
how impact in that time, like supply chain, you're saying we have to small things to connect to one place, and
yeah,
there are so many things behind,
yeah.
right? So tell me more details, like what exactly they can do, what job roles they can choose.
Yep.
Can you tell me more details into this? What job roles they can see?
Sure. So in supply chain, there can be many different jobs. So you can start either as a buyer. Buyer means that you are requesting for quote like RFP, requesting for price from different customers, from different suppliers to understand, and then measure whether if they are selling something to you like in 12 weeks of lead time, but $10, and if the other customer or supplier is selling it to you for like $20, but only in like 3 weeks. So you have to do all the data analysis of the pricing. So I would say just get used to three top main skills that I would say if you're in supply chain that you will use. One is data analysis. It can be the pricing, it can be the lead times that you're getting from the suppliers that you will have to evaluate. Quality is also very important
Yes,
these days.
that's for sure. Quality
Yeah.
is more important.
Yeah.
How do you consider like a quality matters with the price also matches? How
Yes.
do you deal that situation?
Yeah, it's very important. Once if you can get something cheaper and you compromise quality working with a supplier who's making something very cheap quality, but the reputation that it will ruin for you, for your customers, will
Right.
never be able to get back. Especially right now, I work with Microsoft, which is like data center industry. We are making data centers. So even if you get a cheaper contractor who can build the data center, but then the quality of even for a rack that is going inside a server, a fiber cable is not up to the mark. It can create issues with your end customer. For example, whoever is using the data center to store the data in. So its quality is very important. So I would
Right.
say the skill set, data analysis is definitely one. The second one is negotiation skills, because
Got
you will
it.
be meeting a lot of suppliers and you'll have to negotiate contracts with them.
Got it.
And these contracts, Usha, are not just the pricing contracts. These are, if something were to go wrong, then how will we,
Fix the issues
fix the
also.
issues? Yes. So if quality-wise there is some problem, there are so many government rules that the suppliers have to abide by and comply with. So you want to make sure that the supplier does not have any kind of major red flags in the past, or
Got it.
any litigations in the past where they have.
We have to verify so many
Yeah.
things before we choose something, and there are so many knowledge to understand also.
Yes, yes. So data analysis is one. Two is negotiation skills, because of the contracts and everything that you have to negotiate. And the third one, I would say the soft communication, interpersonal skills, because whenever you're coming to a corporate, there are so many emails you have to write in a day. There are
Right.
so many presentations that you have to do.
Got it.
Don't get worried if you are not there yet. Everybody has to start somewhere. As I said, I started as an introvert kid, because my brother and I have like 9 years gap, and he moved to the US before I did. So I was almost like an only kid in the house. And right now times are so advanced that you have so many podcasts, one like Usha Talks.
Thank you.
And then some others where you get the opportunity to learn. So just use those opportunities. So yeah, data analysis, negotiation, and communication, I would say.
That's beautiful and interesting too. Yes. And what the qualification if they want to try in this job role especially?
Yeah. So I would tell you what I did, Usha, because at that point of time, I did not know about supply chain, but I think I was at the right place and right time. But I can give my recommendations for your viewers how they can get there too. So I did my undergrad in applied psychology, where the consumer behavior and marketing, because I wanted to go into MBA and business side of things. So I wanted to understand, how to work in corporate organization with people. So
Got it.
that psychology part of that was very, very interesting. Even today, I love reading psychology books, human behavior and how you can, the leadership skills that you will
Good
need.
to know. Human behavior is always like unpredictable. Like in a
Yes.
minute, last minute, computer also, if we feed some program, they will tell like what to do, what not to do, or good, bad, or wrong and right.
Yeah, yeah.
Human mindset is like every time, last second also, it just can change.
Yes. Oh my
So
God. There are some very good books, and maybe I can share some links with you for your audience.
definitely, yes.
It's but there are certain tricks that you can, in a good way, manipulate people to get to your thought process. So I started with applied psychology, and then I came here for MBA. And as I said, during my internship, I got into GE, where I started as logistics and supply chain. And then there was never a dull day. Every day there was some new challenge to solve.
And you're enjoying your
Yes.
work also,
Oh my
right?
God,
More
yes.
into people are doing jobs without interest also these days. If we are
Yeah.
watching them, They're not even smiling. They're like, oh no, this job is so hectic. I don't
Yeah.
want to do this. But there is no other option to change the jobs.
Yeah.
We see so many people are like that these days, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you are loving your job in that time. You
Oh
want
yes.
to learn
Yeah.
more into it. That's why you are in this position now, right?
Yes.
So tell me more about your saying something.
Yeah.
Continue.
So, I'm connecting to what you just said, Usha. There's never a dull day. And if you're working in the field of your passion, it's
Right.
almost like you're not working. It's like you're living life and enjoying life. So, when I started into supply chain, I was so excited because every day, every week, there was a new challenge to solve. Either there's like a price negotiation I have to do with the supplier, or if there's a shipment that's stuck somewhere and I have to work with the suppliers. For example, during the pandemic time, where I had to diversify the supply base, because if we had all the suppliers in China, that was the country that shut down first, we would have been waiting for our raw material like forever. So it was so good that I worked on diversification of supply chain. So I had a supplier in Europe also, in India also, in US also, so that if such thing happens like pandemic or some other issue where we cannot get material from one country, we could get it from others. So
So tell me more, like the work culture is completely different, right? We
yes.
have to learn so many, and the work culture and the diversity, we have to learn inclusion. There are so many topics that we can discuss
Yes.
about it also. How do you feel the work culture when you are here, especially with like we were from like a very introvert families, like a middle class woman, coming from always the woman, especially depending on either of parents or like husbands or siblings
Yeah.
in India.
Yeah.
We don't have to feel shy to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's completely 100% sure.
That's our culture. That's
That's
how.
our blessing also.
Yeah.
We still want to stick with our families and siblings and parents. That's
Yeah.
our blessing. We don't have to feel about it also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but after we come here, we have to more independent to do so many things, to
Yeah.
take care of family, balancing life, to motivate ourselves, to kids also. We are there are just only phone
Yes.
calls, only people are available to talk.
Yeah.
And the community friendships, like people whoever in close friends also, maybe 1-2 families more connect to us, right?
Yeah.
So all these challenges when you come to this country, especially in the workplace, how did you manage, and what do you see to so many differences, especially women in supply chain like you? I haven't hear about like other women's also working like in your profession. You are saying that welcoming for some more women to work like this, because
Yes.
women can solve so many issues in this
Yes.
world.
Oh my God. We
No
need.
doubt about
We
it.
definitely need the input from women and male, and all the aspects.
So
Yeah.
tell me what challenges you faced in your work profession in that time, and how did you settle down in that time, and what opportunities women have to learn more things in this career now? Can you please share that more details?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I started as an intern, and then also when I came back after getting married and restarted working in the US, I being one young around that times, like in my early 20s, and also very few female professionals in supply chain industry. Mostly when I would go to the meeting, people with my manager, if I go to meet a supplier, suppliers would only look at my manager and talk to him, and kind of in a subtle way just ignore me, thinking that
Got it.
she's here to take notes, not
Yes,
knowing
I,
that
I see so many
yeah,
industries, not only particular industry, like any business. If you see, if there are 4 men sitting, if one woman like
Yeah.
between them, they only talk about other people only,
Yeah.
not they're just ignoring why it happens.
Yeah, it happens. I think again, coming back to the upbringing and the culture and the surroundings, it has changed. I'm telling you what I experienced like probably 18 years ago. Now in 18 years, I personally, as a female professional, making sure that if any female and male are in the room, everybody is included.
Yes.
So I ask for opinions of my male colleagues too, but also my female colleagues. Sometimes they thought that because I'm not an engineer, I'm not qualified to talk about even supply chain. but I had engineers reporting to me. There are people, I mean, to be a CEO of the company, you don't have to know about, designing and supply chain and everything. If you know about one thing in particular 100% and you have an idea of the other fields, you can still be the CEO. So I made it very sure that after a few meetings, I would communicate by my, confident body language and my tone of voice that, I know this field. Even if I don't know about the engineering or the design piece of this particular product, I have a team who works on that and I'm the manager, and I lead them. I'm better at negotiation and data analysis. Even if I'm not good at design, I have resources in my company. I mean, nobody can do every job, right? Nobody
Correct.
can be a PhD in every field
Got
of their
it.
life.
Got it.
So just highlight your strong points and your strengths. And this is what I learned from my mom also. She's a very strong lady. So I always say I got my strength from my mom and kindness from my dad.
Wow,
He's
that's a
very
beautiful
kind.
combination.
So yeah, just make sure that you come up with your strengths and demonstrate that in whether you're sitting in meetings or sending a communication in email. Don't let anybody discourage you by highlighting what you cannot do. Show them what you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good one. Actually, if someone discourages, also don't think about it too much. Just show
Yeah.
them what you can do and prove it.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Wonderful, Nishi. Thank you for telling more briefing about it. And let's coming to your hobbies next. We will discuss more things later also. So tell me, what is your hobbies and what movies you watched from the childhood? Who is your favorite hero? I know you sings well too, right? You're a good singer, right?
Yeah,
So
sometimes.
tell me who is your favorite hero, artist?
Yeah, so I mean, wherever I go, Shah Rukh Khan, SRK will
Shah
be
Rukh
my
Khan,
first love.
Bollywood.
Yes, but I'm also a big, huge fan of Kamal Hassan. So I have to tell your audience this is funny story. When I was probably 6 or 7 years old,
Yes.
we were watching the movie on TV at our house, Sadma. So Kamal Hassan and Sri Devi.
Sridevi, Vasanta Kokila.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So the Hindi version was Sadma. And the last scene where,
Railway
oh
station.
my God, where Sri Devi has regained and recovered from her memory loss.
Right.
And Kamal Hassan is making faces so that she can, recall him, but she cannot and she leaves. I cried and I howled. And our neighbors thought somebody died in
Oh my God.
somebody died in our house because I get so connected to the. I told you, like, I'm a not just Bollywood, but like Indian movies in
Any
total.
movies, yes.
I connect with the characters too much. So, yeah, Kamal Hassan, Shah Rukh Khan will be all-time favorite. Recent times, I think Ranbir Kapoor is pretty good. I like Vicky Kaushal too.
Right.
And definitely
A different movies from
yeah.
the regular movies,
and
right?
Allu Arjun mein jhukega nahi.
Yeah, Taggedele Pushparaj. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now there are so many versatile actors if
Oh,
we are
yes.
seeing from Tollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood, Collywood,
Yes.
any
Yeah.
industry, if we are watching the movies, people are enjoying the diversity, what we call,
Yes.
different movies, different stories, and the actors, oh my God, mind blowing
Oh my, the
performances.
stories.
Yes.
The stories that are coming now have never been told before. Even
Right.
for, we were talking about diversity and women coming into any industry.
Right.
Even such good roles and scripts being written for women in Bollywood, Tollywood, or whatever you may
There
want
are
to call
so
it.
many platforms to prove your talent also
Yes,
nowadays. I
yeah.
see it's a blessing for everyone to, reach their dreams and fulfill their dreams in their lives.
Yeah, and thanks for channels like YouTube and Instagram that you were talking about hobbies. So I love to dance too. I love
Right.
to read books. So I kind of keep on sharing my thoughts and through LinkedIn, I always send out invitation to if there are any new female or male students who would like to know more about either supply chain or how to make it in the US in corporate industry. Just I love to mentor and coach. I believe
Definitely.
the entire purpose of power and knowledge, Usha, is to empower others. So I feel even when I go to the conferences and speak about either supply chain or any other things that I'm invited to speak at, I want to make sure that I see more and more female professionals coming up there.
Definitely. I think
Yeah.
after our interview, there are more people wants to
Yes.
reach you. Definitely, they want to pursue their career also.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely. Thank you, Nishi. And yeah, let's coming to a serious topic now. There are so many, like life is not easy for everyone. This is I'm asking for every guest in my podcast.
Yeah.
So every time, okay, just going with the flow nicely, smoothly, beautifully. But sometimes, oh no, there are so many pain
Yeah.
days and struggles. Sometimes we cry a lot. There are so, I mean, there are no one to help us also in
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
We have to help ourselves.
Yes.
Can you please share any like that story to inspire more? Because like this is not a easy journey. I'm very sure about, like every journey is very unique
Yeah.
in my own. So I just want to know what is your struggles that you come out from that, and can you please share that inspiring story as too?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll probably share two things. One is like very personal, which is during pandemic, our parents, I'm here, my brother is here, our families are here, but our parents are still back in India. And I personally am not a very phone person who would pick up a phone every day and ask my mom, like, how are you doing? But I'm emotionally very attached. But talking on phone is not how I show it. So we could not meet for like 2.5, 3 years, and it was and I all this while was thinking I'm a strong person. I'll call my parents and I talk to them in like 2 days, 3 days. But eventually, when pandemic end and I went to meet my parents, I was very emotional. I mean, I cried so much, and then I realized, sometimes when we are going through things, we are not realizing how it's impacting us.
Correct.
But then when we have gone through, there are after effects of it. So I would say, and this could be a controversial topic for some and not for others, but having either a therapist or taking care of your mental health is very important.
Right.
If you cannot afford a therapist, have a good friend circle.
Right.
Share things with them, your best friends. It's very good to have non-judgmental people
Right.
who you can just, sit like this
Just
and
talk
talk.
anything you
Yeah.
can talk.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
like that, friends more important.
Yes, just talk it out. My husband loves to talk a lot. I'm not much of an expressive talker, so sometimes he has to really poke me and say, "What's going on in your mind?" And then I share with him. So sharing, getting either a therapy or something, or just like taking a walk if that's your thing. Just going outside in on the street and just taking a walk, putting on a headphone of good music or some good podcast like Usha Talks,
Thank
and
you.
then just walking around. I think that was one of the personal thing, Usha. But professional side, I've seen. I'm a director right now with Microsoft, as I said, very good company. And previously, I worked with GE in the past, great employers, right? And some of them have very good benefits, like that you can take some time off if you want some mental health days. But then there was also a time where I was pretty much stuck at a level of career and I wanted to go for next level. But sometimes you have supportive managers, sometimes you need more work
Right.
with them. So at that point of time, when you feel yourself stuck, find yourself a mentor. That's why I reach out to people and university students on LinkedIn, or they reach out to me. I make sure that I take out time and advise them if they need some advice on how to get from one level to another. Because I know if I had coaches and mentors and then I was starting my career, it would have
Right.
helped me even more. But if you feel that you're stuck somewhere, find either a friend or a mentor or a coach, or if you can afford and if you have time and access, then just having a good either career or personal therapist also can help.
So now every time if we see, there are so many upgrades in everything, right? Lifestyle and computers and friends. So what do you think, like what is the best things to do in life, like as a humans, right? There are so many electrical things going on around.
Yes.
So what is the best thing people have to do now?
Yeah, and I think you and I also understand this, that looking our kids spending so much screen time,
Yes.
it's probably the biggest one. So I think kids do what they see, and they will not do what you tell them to do, right? So um, one thing that I've started is I do not bring my phone in the bed when Nivan, my son, is around. I hold a book in my hand, and then I see Nivan also brings a book and sits next to me. So we have made it a habit to read before we sleep.
Got it.
So that's one thing related to our kids. But for myself, I think last 2 years I've started reading more about spirituality and meditation.
Nice.
That has helped me a lot. Just sitting with yourself, cross-legged for even 10 minutes helps you so much get your thoughts together. I also keep a journal where I can put like top 10 things that I want to achieve in a particular year. It could be as simple as losing 2 pounds of weight, going on walk for at least 5 days a week, having some healthy food, because you're right, there are now so many things, having enough protein, and then
Yeah,
having
food.
enough.
Next, we will talk about the food topic also. So now, recently, I heard a program about like nutrition program,
Yep.
and every time we want to see equality in everyone, right? The work wise, career wise, and in our office also.
Yeah.
But food, why we are sticking with the same food, especially our Indians. We want to
Yes.
try everything, but we have to stick with the same food, right? So what do you think about, what is your favorite food? First tell me, then what we can change. Food diversity also we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Just tell me what is your favorite food first.
Wow. So I would probably, it will be cliche, but like biryani.
All favorite.
whether goat biryani, mutton, chicken biryani. But I should also tell you this, Usha. Last year, I had a very bad dream, so I turned vegetarian completely. So that also is a different lifestyle that I'm trying to get used to. But others outside of Indian food, I really like. I like Italian food a lot. And then I've started doing more healthier version, because I was thinking that, we are feeding our kids so much sugar. And now with health consciousness and everything, I get all the reels on Instagram or shorts on YouTube, saying how bad it is to feed sugar just in the morning, because it gives a very good spike. So I'm trying to, like, I love pizza, but what I try to do is I try to do a cauliflower crust pizza instead of like full, wheat or maida kind of stuff. So how to get healthier options of what I like to eat, because if some of your audience know, if they are vegetarian, it's very difficult to get protein in your diet,
Right.
because it's always like either tofu or paneer, but then you get bored eating all of that. But yeah, I think slowly and steadily we are getting there. But sometimes we get too strict with kids. Don't eat that donut. But we have to remember our time. I mean, we never listened to our parents when they were saying.
Obviously, but we don't have this many options in that time. But we
Yeah.
have some.
Yeah.
But there is very.
But your husband is such a good cook. I know
Of
Venu.
course.
Venu is a great cook. If you don't know him, you should do a podcast with
Definitely,
him.
yeah, definitely. I want to start a channel for him.
Yes,
Because
yeah,
there are
you
so
should.
many
You
fans for
must.
his cooking.
Yeah.
But behind there are so much work. I'm doing it for him.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. We will start husband's cooking also one
Yes,
day.
yeah. My husband will not be cooking, but he can help
But
arrange.
help arranging. Nice. So, Nishi, I want to ask one more question. If people are underestimated, women especially, any country, in our country here or anywhere in this world, what do you want to give a strong message to them, and what do you want to tell the women to inspire to see our journey like in future?
Yeah.
So what do you want to tell?
Yeah. Before I tell something to the women, I would actually like to tell this to your male audience, that if you are not a female, you
No,
do
no,
not
not
understand.
only male underestimating
Okay.
women. There are women also
Women
underestimating.
Oh yeah.
People are like, the world is spreading with so much negativity.
Yes.
We are blessed because we want to talk with the positive, people. We want to choose the friends also.
Yeah.
Sometimes things can be good to bad, bad to good.
Yeah.
We never know.
Yeah.
That's why like human mindset is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
So people are like whoever, especially underestimating women
Yeah.
in any industry.
Yeah.
That's why, like my main question.
Yeah.
So what do you want to give a strong message to them? How we can just tell, but it's not easy for the situation is their shoes, right? It's not easy,
Yeah.
but if we are saying something to inspire them also, it's more important for the future audience.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say, people sometimes take their life too seriously, and they think that there's only enough money in the bank. So if someone is doing good for someone else, then that means that they are giving up their own individuality or their own strengths. So even like, if director or senior directors or VPs who are women in the industry, just by teaching others or coaching others or bringing other women along is not going to make you less stronger. You will have what you have, and then coaching and mentoring other people, as I said, you have to empower. If you are in a powerful position and have good knowledge, the whole purpose of that is that you can empower others. So if you're not male, or if you're male in the organization, then just be an ally. You may not understand some aspects of being a female in the industry. Surround yourself with some strong women. Ask them questions on what troubles did you go through, like you, Usha, you were asking me,
Yes.
how I started my career, what were the issues that I had. Be curious, be open, be inclusive. If you see something, say something. If you see that there are some female that are not rising up the career ladder, what could be the issue? Use the data. If it shows that, most of the times I've seen, Usha, that if there's a job opening, 50% of the female will not apply to it, because they will say, oh, there are 10 things needed. I have only 8. I do not have 2. But male, on the other hand, if they'll see 10 things and they have only 2, but not the other 8, they will still go ahead and apply. So I think it's upon us too.
They have to build more confidence.
Yes.
And it's not like it's very toughest thing also. When you started working, you will learn everything.
Yes.
People
Yeah.
like you and me, I don't know anything, but once I started learning something, then it's
Yes.
like maybe an year or 2 years, you
Yes.
will learn everything.
I totally agree.
Yes.
And also, I think most of the organizations, they are looking at your qualifications and degrees and skills, but the zest to learn is something I'm looking for when I'm interviewing someone. I'm not, if I want you to hire for a particular job, I'm not looking at you that you may have done that job somewhere else. I'm looking at the skill set or your
Problem solving.
Yes, problem solving, data analysis,
Teamwork.
and it's very important when you have options to be anything in the world. Choose to be kind. Just be a learner. Be open for answering questions. And I know sometimes in the corporate world it's difficult. You are like, no, we have to get things done quickly. But then if you have the right candidate with the right attitude, you can teach them faster than having someone who has 20 years of experience.
Well said. Very nicely. Yes, I see a lot of people, they think they do have a lot of experience. Okay, they want to be things to be done. It's like a teamwork.
Yeah.
And problem solving, de-escalate the situations, and how kind you to others. Like
Yeah.
if people are in a different mood also, you don't have to be frustrated. We have to solve the problem.
Yeah.
One day, the second day will be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, be kind
Because
to everyone.
people will forget what you said to them, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So
Right.
it's very important, even if that's why it's even more tough to be a manager and a director in this day and age, because you have to make sure that you are not discouraging people in your team while giving critical feedback on how they can improve. Yeah.
That's a wonderful things to understand and learning so many, Nishi, today. So guys, I hope you understand or this interview will reach to more people. If people who wants to start their career in a supply chain, or Nishi, what she says, like as an intern she starts her career, now she's a director of supply chain. So if you want to pursue your career, learn more about it, just Google, and feel free to ping our podcast channel also. We will definitely give you answers. So it was wonderful talking, Nishi. We
Same here,
learned
Usha.
so many things from you. and very blessed day, one more blessed day today. And yes, I know you sings too good. I want to listen a good song from you before
Maybe
we
next
close
time.
the show. Next time we will sing one more. Just without thinking, just your favorite, just 1, 2, 3, just go ahead.
Oh, wow.
Any song, you can sing any of your favorite.
All right. I hope this is not embarrassing. वादा रहा सनम होंगे जुदा न हम चाहे न चाहे जमाना हमारी चाहतों का मिट ना सकेगा फसाना. Thank you.
What a beautiful voice.
Thanks, Usha.
I told you already, right? Beauty with brains. So it's a great combination. She's very kind. In like all my friends, she's very kind. So that I want to respect, learn from others also is more important these days. Just grab their good qualities, okay? And thank you so much for watching our
Thank you.
podcast today, guys. I hope you enjoyed our Life is Beautiful with Usha Talks. So next episode, I will meet one more guest. So thank you. Just keep supporting like this. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.
Thank you.